أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله هيا على الصلاة هيا على الصلاة هيا على الفلاح هيا على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمد عبده ورسوله. I give the greetings of Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, Allah Azza wa Jal, highly glorified is He, highly glorified is He. He has said, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها بث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم من يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد, brothers and sisters, brothers again, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah, we've been blessed to be here on this great day of Jumah, which is our Eid. We know we have three holidays, that being Eid al-Fitr, Eid al-Adha, and every week Eid al-Jum'ah. So we should try to make our kids, grandkids, families feel special, hold special events on Friday. Go out to dinner on Friday, buy the toys on Friday. Whatever you want to do, make it happen on Yom al-Jum'ah to counter the dawah that's coming from Shaitan with these other holidays, of which predominantly all of them are based upon Ibad al-Shams, the worship of the sun. And one time, if I'm asked to give the khutbah in the future pertaining to the holidays, I will, because I've done a lot of research on that information getting left. But today's topic is human life is sacred and honorable. Human life is sacred and honorable. يقول الله عز وجل أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم من أجل ذلك كتبنا على بني إسرائيل أنه من قتل نفسا بغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا ولقد جاءتهم رسلنا بالبينات ثم إن كثيرا منهم بعد ذلك في الأرض لمسرفون. So Allah Ta'ala says, so it was written for Bani Israel, that is, كتبنا على بني إسرائيل أنه من قتل نفسا بالغير نفس أو فساد في الأرض. If you kill one soul, an innocent soul, it is as if you kill the whole of the whole world. You kill every person on earth, جميعا. فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا. It's as if you kill the whole world of people. ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا. And if you save the life of one person, it is as if you save the whole life, the whole world at one time. So Allah Ta'ala, He puts a premium on life. Life is not to be dealt with in a frivolous manner. Life means something. Even the life of animals, the life of insects, the life of trees, everything should have its respect. And we see this in the life of the Prophet, where when they went back to Mecca, he said, don't cut down any trees, don't harm anything. Keep everything whole. Don't assault anyone. So life is sacred and life should be respected. Allah says, وَالَّذِينَ لَا يَدْعُونَ مَعَ اللَّهِ إِلَهًا آخَرَ وَلَا يَقْتُلُونَ النَّفْسَ الَّتِي حَرَّمَ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ ولا يزنون ومن يفعل ذلك يلقى أثاما. Allah says that you should not invoke any imaginary deity, any mythological god, any made up fancy of idols, what have you, any sort of superstition. They should not be honored. Shirk has levels. The level of worshiping a false god, in the case the sun, worshiping idols, worshiping mysteries, and mysterious mythological representations of goddesses and what have you. It is haram. Superstition is haram. We know the superstition. You split the pole. I got one of the worst beatings ever because I split the pole. I did. My great grandmama, she wouldn't have it. She got that long switch and went at it. Sweep the foot, you gotta spit on the broom. If your hand's scratching, if your hand is itching, you'll get some money. Somebody asked me what's wrong. Well, what does it mean? I said, your hand dirty. You know what I mean? Go watch it. So the point is that these superstitions are what they are. Because, see, there's no good luck and bad luck. There's no lucky day, no unlucky day. There's no Friday the 13th and you got to get a lucky rabbit's foot. Excuse me, but the rabbit had 4 feet. How come he's dead and you got his foot? See, so things don't make sense. But see, we believe in Qadr. It's one of the Arkanul Iman. One of the 6 pillars of Iman is that you believe in Qadrullah. The fact that He has destined the outcome of our lives on 2 accounts. One being our good decisions leading us to paradise, one being our bad decisions and leading us to the fire of hell. So there's no good luck and bad luck. The sequences of events that will unfold based on good decisions will have a pleasant outcome. That's why so many good things are happening in our lives. And conversely, if bad things are happening, it's because we're making some bad decisions. No good luck, no bad luck. So Allah says, don't commit shirk. Don't associate God with Him. Then he says, وَلَا يَقْتُلُونَ وَلَا يَقْتُلُونَ النَّفْسَ الَّتِي حَرَمَ اللَّهُ. He says, don't take the life of the innocent soul. Don't take the life of an innocent soul. The innocent soul that is what? Sacred. Haram Allah. Allah Ta'ala has made it sacred. You have cases where you do have to take a life. Whereas life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, nose for nose, life for life, all the business, right? But Allah did this to keep chaos out of the way. If someone killed someone, you have the right to go eye for eye, right? Allah says in the same verse, but if you forgive, it is better and closer to piety. You don't have to go tit for tat. You can back off. The point, though, is that Allah says this as relates to His commands. He says, the next one, he says, وَلَا يَزْنُونَ وَمَن يَفْعَلْ ذَلِكَ يَلْقَى أَثَامًا. That is to say, whoever does, he says, don't commit zina, don't have a girlfriend in our cases, don't have a boyfriend in your cases, don't have a boyfriend, don't have a girlfriend. We don't have to say that, but I'm just saying. Then he says, if you do this, وَمَن يَفْعَلْ ذَلِكَ, whoever does this, يَلْقَى أَثَامًا. These are the ones who will meet a full requital of their actions. And the next verse after, he says, يُضَاعَفْ لَهُ الْعَذَابُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ وَيَخْلُدْ فِيهِ مُهَانًا. They will have a double punishment on Yom Al-Qiyamah. And they will live there for a very long time. Some خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا أَبَدًا. So the emphasis on these ayat, though, is life is sacred. Don't take a life. He says what? إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ, except in terms of the law that He has written Himself. We must value a person's life no matter what the race. And we know, unfortunately, that we live in America, our lives don't have a high premium on them in the eyes of others. You know, we have a misrepresentation of justice as it relates to a common brother being pulled over by the police, profiled, beaten, shot, whatever. We know these things happen. And at the same time, unfortunately, we too, as African Americans, we can step out of bounds too. And we start picking on people because of their race. We see that as well. Or we feel that we need to insult people because of their race. This is not what we should do. This is not the premise of righteousness. So Allah Ta'ala, he points to that, and then he says, before I say this verse, we had the guy, this Paddock dude, that killed about 59 people, caused the injury of roughly 600 people in general, stampede, shots, whatever the case. We had Heather Heyer, who was killed a couple months back, I think, with the protest against the white supremacists. Killed. These things happen because people have hate and dishonor for human quality, for the human essence. And we want to say, I was waiting to hear the name of the guy. Well, I think we all were waiting to see what was his name. I hope his name was not Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. Let's listen for the name. Some guy named Paddock. Only one problem. They didn't say he was a terrorist either. They say he was sick. he had a problem, but he wasn't a terrorist. News reports say that he was going to actually shoot up a rap concert that was done a week prior. Maybe he got his schedule mixed up, but he ended up hitting the country event. Point, it was an act of terrorism. He had magazines, he had everything, he had bombs. He had ill intent to harm, and you don't use the word terrorist? The KKK were terrorists, are terrorists, neo-Nazis are terrorists. All these groups that want to see us in a box, those are terrorist groups. So why is it you want to just label anyone that's a Pakistani or an Arab or anyone with a foreign tongue that looks like he or she is from the Middle East terrorist? Why is that? Because, of course, we know the agenda is to stamp out the light of Al-Islam. The agenda is to make our cousins and uncles and aunts and grandmothers and grandfathers feel afraid to consider becoming Muslim. Because they say, well, we don't want to be in no trouble. I don't know what you're doing, child, but I don't think you should be there. They crazy. So they use this verse, those who are Muslims, so-called Muslims. I say so-called because most of them, he has a response to them. He says, وَقَاتِلُوا فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ الَّذِي يُقَاتِلُونَكُمْ وَلَا تَعْتَدُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُعْتَدِينَ. He says, and fight in the way of Allah Azza wa Jal with those who fight you. وَلَا تَعْتَدُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُعْتَدِينَ. But don't transgress. Another verse that helps the meaning here, fight those who fight you. When they stop, you stop. Because he says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُعْتَدِينَ. Allah does not love those who transgress beyond what is right and fair. We know the case with the man who was fighting in a war with the Prophet ﷺ. There was a battle of Badr. He was about to kill the guy. The guy spat on him. Then he put his sword down. He said, how come you're not killing me? The guy, why are you not killing me? He said, I was going to kill you for the sake of Allah. But when you spat on me, I was going to kill you for myself. Can't do it. That guy became Muslim. That guy became Muslim. The point is that those who want to incite ignorance in the name of terrorism, in the fi sabilillah, jihad, and all other business, they misrepresent the truth with this particular verse that says, and kill them where you see them. Surah At-Tawbah, ayah 36. And kill them where you see them. Talking about disbelievers. That verse was specifically given because the Treaty of Hudaybiyah was broken after 2 years. And the guys were like, yeah, we had peace. They had a knife behind their back. They want to kill you once you turn around. So it says, because of their treachery, kill them where you see them. It wasn't a blanket statement. It was only for those who broke the treaty. And plus, he kept good ties with disbelievers who were not fighting him. And Allah says in Surah 58, and it is okay to have, respect and good relationships with non-Muslims who are not fighting you, who are not trying to do anything against you. You see? So, but those who don't understand the book, and or they do, but they have a different motive, many of these guys that are doing these things, they're drunks, drug addicts, womanizers. They did all types of sin. And then this guy in the corner says, my dear brother, you have paradise. Kill the kuffar. Blow yourself up. On a plane, in the hospital, in the shops. and you'll get paradise and 70 virgins and all this. Okay, right. The question is, how come you didn't do it?
That's right.
You do it first. But no, brother, I must explain to the people. No, you don't. Write it down. And I'm going to say it just like you said, then I'll follow you after that. Oh, but I can't. That's what I thought. We all saw 1976 with Jim Jones. And they all drank that Kool-Aid in South America, left their money and everything. We saw that story before. Old game and new faces. So we're not going for that game. Because what it says in the Quran, don't kill yourself. Life is sacred. Don't kill others recklessly, and don't kill yourself. That's only one. It's a big problem when you buy into the hype of Mr. Spooky Guy with the beard and we supposed to have beards. I have one, but when they try to make it look like, it makes them holy. When they use this imagery, make you feel as though you gotta listen to this guy. Those type people, they're dangerous and they exploit us to do something that is haram. They take us from our true selves. So we pull the string and we blow ourselves up, meat flying all over the place, head rolling, and وَالنَّازِعَاتِ غَرَقًا. Those who tear you out of your body. The malaika, they come and rip you out from your toes to the top of your head. They rip the soul out of the body. And you thought that that guy over there was telling you the truth. Let me tell you something. I think we all know the answer to this. See, we all know when we do wrong, or we're about to do wrong, because we have a bad feeling. We have something that's getting in the way, so we don't do this. Once we run through the stop signs, Ahmed, don't do this. No, Ahmed. Ahmed, come home, you gotta go home. I'll be back. Oh, you won't. Because you followed this guy to your demise. Killing other people. Claiming names. Some guy, they said ISIS claimed they did it. Paddock was not in ISIS. KKK maybe. Don't know. Not ISIS. But people want to claim names and put us in danger. Put us on the spot. Because, people hate us. Now I'm talking about African Americans right now. They hate us because of our religion. Because, see, their Uncle Joe and Uncle Robert and Aunt Fanny, they were in the military and they got killed by one of those guys. So they hate you too. I experienced it myself. I was in a place, I was buying some MoneyGram, whatever. Lady was waiting on me. Then she saw my name. Shamsideen Abdul Rasheed. They started throwing stuff around everything. So you have to understand that we can't keep our mouths shut when people misrepresent the truth as it pertains to the sanctity of life, killing people arbitrarily. The Prophet said something about this, about us in society. He said this, أن النبي, the Prophet called it, said, Wallahi la yu'min, Wallahi la yu'min, Wallahi la yu'min. He says, he swore by Allah Ta'ala 3 times, you are not a believer, you are not a believer, you are not a believer. Qila wa may, he said, Qila wa may, wa man ya Rasulullah. He said, who? Who's not a believer, ya Rasulullah? Qala. He said, الذي لا يأمن جاره بوائقه. The ones who are not the believers are those whom their neighbors do not feel safe from their evil. He says, Wallahi, He says, Wallah, la yu'min. Wallah, la yu'min. Again, this is the second one. It really says the same thing. Then it also says, he will not enter paradise whose neighbor is not secure from his wrong conduct. Fearing of your conduct and then actually doing the conduct. That guy with the beard and the turban, the imamah, and the long jalabiyah and the stick, he had to have the stick. Said if you kill these people and kill yourself, you go to paradise, 70 virgins, this and that, all these things. The Prophet said, you're not going to paradise if your neighbors are not free from your wrong conduct. They're not secure from you. So what does this tell us? This tells us that the Quran does not condone illicit killing. It does not condone the killing of self, suicide, under no conditions. He says in Quran, we all know the verse, don't eat pork. Okay? He also says, don't commit shirk. No khanzir, no shirk, where you worship other gods with him and all that other business, like we said earlier. Then he said, illa, for both. Illa, if there's no other food to eat, then you eat some of the pig to save your life. Eat enough so you don't die. But you have to eat it in a state of sorrow. You basically should be crying while you're eating this pig. That's it. Hey, Ahmed, give me that pork chop. I'll take that too. That's not how it rolls. You can't do that. You're eating to survive. Or if someone has a gun to your head, say, Jesus is your Lord and Savior. Say, Assad is your Lord and Savior. If you don't say this, we'll kill you. Allah says in Quran, you can say it with your mouth, just don't believe it in your heart. And that's shirk. Shirk. Allah Ta'ala, he says in Surah An-Nisa, hope I got enough juice here. He says in An-Nisa, that's the women, ayah, why is the screen so dark? Oh, no light. There we go. Ayah 48, An-Nisa. Yes. Go down here for a minute. This is not a part of the khutbah. I gotta add this in though. Ayah 48. Are we talking about shirk? Allah says, Inna Allah la yaghfiru ay yushraka bihi. That he will not forgive that you perform shirk, that you associate a deity with him. وَيَغْفِرُ مَا دُونَ ذَلِكَ لِمَن يَشَاءُ. But he'll forgive anything else you do. If your sins reach up to the sky and then you sincerely repent, he'll forgive you. You could be the worst womanizer. You could be a drug dealer. You could be a hitman. Whatever it is that you did, but at the point in your life, you reached it and said, like this guy did, he killed 100 people. 99 people. Then he killed the 100th person. If you repent, well, I'll forgive you. The man, he killed 99 people. And he saw this righteous guy and said, listen, I killed 99 people. I don't feel bad about myself. I don't feel good about myself. I want to change. Will God forgive me? No. Killed him too. Said, what am I living for? Let's kill you next. Then he came across another guy and told him the same story, but I killed 100 people. Will my Lord forgive me? He says, yes. But you have to change your environment. You have to move someplace else. The man died en route of going to a new place where he could learn his religion. But he died. because he was en route, then Allah Ta'ala gave him the reward of his intentions of going to correct himself. So now, no matter what you do, he'll be given, right? The Allah says what? He says, وَمَن يُشْرِكْ بِاللَّهِ, whoever performs shirk, فَقَدْ افْتَرَى إِثْمًا عَظِيمًا, they have created the highest crime. So Allah will allow you to commit the highest crime with your mouth at the point of death. Just don't really believe it in your heart. He'll let you eat some pig. Because in both cases it said illa, except. But for killing yourself, nowhere in the Quran is there illa. No exceptions. No one can legitimize you killing yourself. I killed myself. No. You can't answer for that other than in the negative. Because before you kill yourself, convince yourself to do that, you're warned. You get a warning. We always do. So we look and we find that the people who are inspired by murder, inspired to murder and kill people, these people are misguided. These people are khusr, lost. And these Muslims, really look at the profile of these people. They used to hang, even in 911, these guys were in the bar. They were doing some of everything. But honestly, they didn't do it. 911 was changed. Look at it. They didn't do it. But that's another story another time. But the profile of them being criminals in their religion, criminals to Allah Ta'ala, because they rejected Salah, they rejected Zakat, they rejected fasting, they rejected Ahsan, be kind, like Allah Ta'ala is kind to you. They rejected all those things and they just did many different things they shouldn't have been doing. That's one level. The other problem where we lose the respect for human life, we don't hold it sacred because of racism, because of arrogance, that we think that we're better than the next person because of their race, their knowledge, their money, their status, whatever. Allah says, يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله يتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير. Says, oh human race, we have created you into different nations and tribes that you might know, that you might learn from one another, not despise each other. For the best of you, إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ. The highest of you, the highest in rank, the elite of you, are those who excel best in taqwa. إِنَّ أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ. Those who exhibit the best submission to Allah Azza wa Jal. Those who hold sacred the best. What Allah says, hold sacred. Taqwa is the quality that is missing in everybody's religion except ours. No one is talking about taqwa in their religion. Taqwa, having the reverence and the fear to disobey Allah Azza wa Jal. Because in Christianity, you got to get out of hell free card. Because they say that guy, he died for your sins. You go to the guy, get on that little thing there, that's that little door stuff there in the Catholic Church, and Father, I have sinned, Son, you forgive me. get out of hell free card. It's not going to work. But that's what they're operating from. We are operating from the premise that whatever we do, we will be held responsible for it. That Allah Ta'ala is watching. So we have to ask Allah Ta'ala to forgive us. Like, رَبَّنَا لَا تُؤَاخِذْنَا إِن نَسِينَا أَخْطَأْنَا. Oh my Lord, please forgive me when I slip into sin, when I fall into sin, when I feel something bad, when I think something bad, when I actually do something bad, I lose my temper. Allah says, He never said we were going to be angels. He never said that. He said, if you avoid the big sins and only fall into the small sins, He will cover those up and forgive you. You got to say yet. He'll forgive you. He'll cover that up. We have to stay away from those things that destroy our standing in society. No adultery, no drug dealing, no drug using, no liquor drinking, no murder. We know all the major crimes. We shouldn't cuss. We should not. The Prophet said, bad language is from Shaitan. He does not love bad language. I used to cuss all the time. When I became Muslim, after first, I got it together. Now I'm afraid to cuss. I tell the kids, I teach, so I tell the kids I'm afraid to cuss. I'm 57 years old. If I'm afraid to say a bad word, what does that mean for you? I'm talking to the kids. But remember, if this man has kids, and he's always, I'm not saying you do this, brother, but he's always cussing and everything else at the kids, this and that, and all this other business, the kids learn from him, and they pass it on. So all the sayyat that emanates from him eventually goes back to him. From all those who learn directly, indirectly from him. Conversely, this man is always teaching his kids about Quran, and when he's mad, he keeps his mouth shut, or he does something else, but he doesn't cuss the kids out. He shows good manners with his kids, and his kids teach it to others. All the hasanah, all the blessings that goes with it goes back to him. And he's been dead for about 2,000 years. And he's still receiving friends' benefits from teaching the good example. So some people might hold cussing is small. I heard a guy recite Quran and start cussing right after that about how good he was. That's not making sense. So if the Quran is coming out of your mouth, think about it. If the Quran is coming out, you're saying Alhamdulillah Alameen. You're saying all these words of purity. And then you're going to start cussing? That should help you put the brakes on. But back to the original deal. So if we avoid the big sins, only for the small sins, Allah will forgive us. So that's acting on the premise of taqwa. That's becoming muttaqeen. Those who practice taqwa. Those who, I'm not going to say that. MGM, I'm not going to go. One brother told me, he was about 27 years old. He told me he went to the casino. I said, how come? I wanted to see what was in there. You already know what's in there. Sin is in there. What type of sin? You don't care. You know just that if Maniac Man who lost his house money, he mortgaged his house, lost $350,000, and you in the bathroom with him, and he needs a couple of dollars more, and you ain't got it, choke your life out of your body. Well, that's your fault. You shouldn't have been there. We can't put ourselves in the way to help us send ourselves to the fire of hell. He doesn't send us anywhere. We send ourselves because we make the choices. people, back to the verse, people, they hate each other. They become racist, full of hate of different people because they find superiority in their own beginning. The first racist was the devil. Allah created from the jinn race, He created us from the human race. Allah says, وَلَقَدْ خَلَقْنَا الْإِنسَانَ مِنْ صَلْصَالٍ مِنْ حَمَإٍ مَسْنُونٍ. Then we created the human being from a black, stinking mud that made sound. وَالْجَنَّ خَلَقْنَاهُ مِنْ قَبْلُ مِنْ نَارِ السَّمُومِ. And we created, the jinn race from a scorching fire that gave no smoke. وَإِذْ قَالَ رَبُّكَ لِلْمَلَائِكَةِ إِنِّي خَالِقٌ بَشَرًا مِّن صَلْصَالٍ مِّنْ حَمَإٍ مَسْنُونٍ. Then Allah said to the Malaika, we're going to make a human being from sounding clay to make sound, whose mud is black and it stinks. He continues. فإذا سويته ونفخت فيه من روحي فقعوا له ساجدين. And when I have breathed into him something of my spirit, bow down to him. Allah Ta'ala created this being, Adam. I looked up the name Adam in the Arabic lexicons. Robert Lane, I know you all know about him. Adam means black earth, dark earth. Adam looked like what he came from. That's the name Adam. In Hebrew, they try to switch it around. It was Adam, but then they try to make it, instead of black, red. But it was actually black. And Eve, of course, created from the rib. And the rib is, of course, white. So the connection that we see is that we're coming from these two, of which the many varying colors come from their diversity in color and the diversity in the earth itself, the mud that we came from. فَسَجَدَ الْمَلَائِكَةُ كُلُّهُمْ أَجْمَعِينَ. And all the angels bowed down, إِلَّا إِبْلِيسَ. He was not of those who bowed down. قال يا إبليس ما لك ألا تكون مع الساجدين. He says, oh Iblis, how come you didn't bow down when I said bow down? Listen to the answer. قال, the shaitan talking, لم أكن لأسجد لبشر خلقته من صلصال من حمإ مسنون. He says, I am not the one to bow down to a man that you made from black stinking mud. In other words, he said, I am better than him because you made it from black stinking mud and you made me from smokeless fire. Racist. The first one. That was his premise. So the devil incites hate through race. Meanwhile, these KKK members, neo-Nazis, they're Christian? Really? Burning crosses, grand dragons and all that stuff. The Third Reich, the Fourth Reich, talking about the Roman Empire built on Christianity by Constantine, who was a devil, who perverted true religion, set up a religion called Christianity based on sun worship. Meanwhile, Jesus said, I don't really want to say Jesus, Isa. I'll say Jesus because everybody knows him that way. That's not his name. But Jesus said, I come not to change the way of the prophets. I come to change the law or the way of the prophets, but to fulfill. And he practiced the Sabbath. Now watch this. If he didn't come to change the law of Moses and he was following it, that means he was following the religion of Moses. So what was the name of that? What was the name of that? Because that's the religion he was following. Christianity is well known as made up by Constantine, by name. So these people, they're following a religion based upon hate and deception. Of course, don't get it twisted. Allah Ta'ala will have mercy on people who are good Christians and good Jews and good people who believe in Allah in the last day. It's in Quran. He says that. They believe in Allah in the last day and they do good. Believe and do good. You see, I believe but don't do anything. No, believe and do good. You'll get your reward. So I'm not negating any of that. I can't. I'm not qualified for that. What I am saying, though, is that people need to investigate what they say they believe in. If you're going to believe in the Bible, then know where the Bible came from. If you think it's righteous, stand on it, but when you find corruption, acknowledge it and change. Example. I'm tying things into this, but example. It says, the story was with Abraham in the Bible, Genesis chapter 20, verse 12. He was asked by Pharaoh, how come you lied to me and said this woman was your sister, but she's your wife? He said, no. She is my sister from my father, not my mother. Okay. I said, yeah, there's a lot of stuff in there like that. Well, in Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 22 says, cursed is the man that lieth down with his sister, the daughter of his father, or the daughter of his mother, say amen. That's what he said. It's the Bible straight. So here's a man that committed incest that you said was pure. And because of Sarah and Abraham, Isaac came, and eventually Mary came, and through Mary, Jesus came. And so it was like that because of the blessed birth of Isaac. That wasn't no blessed birth. Birth. That was a cursed birth, according to the book that they believe in. Abraham, Ishmael. The word Ishmael means God heard. And in Arabic, you hear Ismail. Isma means listen or heard. Ishmael. God heard his prayer and gave him Ishmael. And from Ishmael came Muhammad. Peace be upon him. It's in there. All about Muhammad too. I read his name in Hebrew. I read his name. I'm not guessing the name Muhammad is in the Bible. I know it is. I read it for myself in Hebrew. Point. Original point. These groups of hate, they stand upon a religious premise that's based upon lies and deception and hate for the good men. So what they did, they lied on all of them. They lied on Abraham. They lied on Prophet Lut. His two daughters got him drunk, and after that they got busy. They lied on Prophet Noah. He got drunk. He was outside of his birthday suit. His son saw him, and they got busy. Listen to this sick talk. Allah says in Quran, verily, if this book was sent down by anyone other than him, you would find many discrepancies. We're finding discrepancies. There's a lot of them. Not trying to lambaste the Christian religion. The honest, good-hearted people in Christianity. No, I'm not. But I am, and I'm obligated to state the truth and the facts about how it originated and where it came from. Two, how Jesus, in their book, pointed to the religion of Moses as what he's following. He's under the law. The word Torah means law. He was following the law of Moses. He didn't eat pork. He didn't worship on Sunday. The sun worshipers did. So, this is food for thought for our brothers and sisters that are listening maybe from Christianity. The point of bringing these things is that We were created. We have varying appearances. We have varying profiles, cultural backgrounds, types of food we like and don't like. But in the end, we put ourselves together as one human entity. We become a beautiful picture of unity, which Allah loves. He doesn't love separation. He says, "Anaqimu dina wa la tatafarraqu fi." Establish true religion and don't be divided. Teach the standard religion of truth and don't be divided. For those who may be listening from Christianity, the standard truth is, he says, Shama Israel, Adonai Elohim, Adonai Echad, which means, hear you, Israel, the Lord thy God is one. What does that mean in Arabic? Qul huwallahu ahad. Ahad and Echad means the same thing. Uniquely one. That is the standard in religion. That is the constant. And Allah told us His name. He told the name, I read it myself in the Bible, and I read it, in Hebrew. I saw it in Aramaic. The name of Allah is there. They just don't want you to know who He is. But Allah, He introduced Himself to Musa on the mountain, Surah Taha, and He said, Ana Allah, I am Allah. He told him who He is. According to the book, according to we watch the Ten Commandments on TV, and Moses said, what's your name? I am that I am. Okay. What does that mean? Sam I am? I don't know. So, Allah Ta'ala, He introduced Himself by name. In Aramaic, in Arabic, in Hebrew. I saw it with my eyes. I'm not guessing. But they hide His name because they want to hide the people away from the truth of worshiping one deity. In Jeremiah, in the Old Testament, throughout those books, said if you stop worshiping Baal and Easter, that's her name, and worship me as one, I'll forgive you. That was the overriding premise that caused people to lose their way, is because they were worshiping directly or indirectly aspects of some worship. That was the problem. كل هذا واستغفر لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. So these people use hate, they use racism, they use division, they use money, they use all these different things to oppress people, to demean people. So Allah told the Prophet to say this, An-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He says, Allah said this, قال يا عبادي إني حرمت الظلم على نفسي. Allah said, oh my servants, I have made it haram, forbidden for myself to oppress my servants. And He wrote that law in a book, and He put it over His throne, by the way. He says, وَجَعَلْتُهُ بَيْنَكُمْ مُحَرَّمًا. And I have made it also haram for you to oppress each other. فَلَا تَظَالَمُوا. So do not oppress. Don't make life hard on people because you have control over people. Don't even make life hard on your son or your daughter in that you make it very difficult for them to practice their religion. You make it very difficult every step of the way. The Prophet Allah said, oh Muhammad, if you make it too hard on them, they will turn away from you. So He says, Allahu alladhi anzala kitaba bil haqqi wal mizan. Allah sent down the book with truth and balance. He says, "Ella tadghaw fil mizan," and don't transgress. Don't step beyond the boundaries of balance. Fairness, sanity, hikmah. Hikmah, wisdom, is when you teach something where it nurtures growth, not stamp it and crush it out. When you teach religion, it should encourage people to want to be on that path you're talking about, not run from it. That's hikmah, that's balance, that's mizan. And he says, "Inni haramtu ala nafsi." Allah Ta'ala starts saying again, "I've made oppression haram for me." Al-dhulma ala ibadi. He has made it haram for him to oppress his servants. فَلَا تَظَالَمُوا. So don't oppress. Point, closing out. Oppression is haram. The premise is haram. It's based on evil. And all these things, they tend to splinter society. The haves and the have-nots, the untouchables, all these crazy ideas, ideologies that they use, that they have used throughout the time for the last 5,000 years. We cannot buy into the hype. We cannot, and see, because as Muslims, as African American Muslims, some of us might act a little racist. Oh, brother, what you trying to be an Arab? How come you believe that? How come you wearing those clothes? Because he feels like it. I remember I used to dress like this brother a few weeks or so, a month. I dressed like this brother right here. Because I was finding my balance. I was finding my niche. It helped me to divorce myself away from society, to get me right. I had to go into a cocoon. I remember, I shouldn't even say this, I don't know. I was working in this store, and this guy was stealing. And I told, he came rush me, "Why you telling me?" He got close, and I hit him before I knew it. I shouldn't have said it. I said I shouldn't have said it. He went flying backwards. Then I'm standing there like, thinking this to myself. Because I was trying to change me, right? "Oh no, brother, I'm sorry. I come in peace. I mean you no harm." I stopped fighting. The guy came rushing towards me, but the other guys, they stopped it already. I tripped over the pickle display, because he was pushing towards me and I tripped. I stopped fighting because my initial response was, "Bring it," but I said, "No, I'm Muslim now." I was trying to change me. So if wearing clothes like that was going to help change me, because you can't punch and skip, and it's hard to get busy with that on sometimes. That calm you down. Whatever it takes to control you, to bring yourself at peace, at balance, you do that as training wheels on a bike. So I did some things along the way to find my way. Alhamdulillah, now I am where I am. I like I like Arab food, some Pakistani food, not all of it. Some of it tastes pretty good. We all like Chinese food.
No, we don't.
Oh, okay. That's good. I mean, I don't eat it anymore either because you can't,